It's time for the North Carolina Vinyl Picker Show, and today we're at the Catawba River Antique Mall. Let's go inside and see what we can find. Good Sunday morning. It's time for the North Carolina Vinyl Picker Show. And on this episode, me and the wife, the Mrs. Vinyl Picker, we went to, where did we go to? We went to Dead People Stuff up in Lenoir. Actually, it's Hudson. It's right up there in North Carolina. And it was a bust. And then on Wednesday, we went down to Catawba River Antique Mall. Yes, that's down in Belmont. And then across the street was supposed to be a bagel store, and it was closed. So that was a bust. But the antique mall was a hit. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you, I got a lot to show you today. And then at the end, I'm going to show you from the Asset Archives book that I got for Christmas, all the Asset Archives records that I have. I'm going to show you those at the end. So that's quite a bit to chew on, isn't it? So let's go ahead and start off by saying thank you for all my new subscribers. I have 25 new subscribers this week. So keep them on coming. I want to get to 2,000. So thank you very much for everybody out there who took the time to watch my little show twice a week on Wednesday and on Sunday. And if you like my show, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. That way you know the next time the North Carolina Vinyl Picker will be on. And I also sell CDs and DVDs on eBay and in Discogs. And there'll be links down below to that too. So if you're interested in buying some CDs, that I'm selling all my CDs, and I'm gone just a vinyl. And yeah, so look forward to that. So when I went to the Dead People store, we went in and he had moved. They used to be in Lenoir and they moved to Hudson. And he had some records in there, but the North Carolina Vinyl Picker, he ain't paying for those. They were pretty pricey. But I did find a couple 45s, and they were like $2 a piece. And I found the Honey Drippers. I know Zeb Pearl would like this one. He probably has it. And I found Big Time by Peter Gabriel. But little did I know when I got home that I already had Big Time, and Big Time was not in my Discogs. So make sure that when you purchase an item, if you use Discogs, make sure you enter them. I wouldn't have had to buy this, but I got an extra copy. You know what I'm going to do with that? I'm going to put it in my store. That's right. It's going to be in my store. There'll be a link down below, like I said, to Discogs and eBay. So if you're looking for a copy of Big Time by Peter Gabriel, have at it. Have at it. So then on Wednesday, we go out every Wednesday, me and the Mrs. Vinyl Picker, we go out every Wednesday, and we go to an antique mall. This week, we went down to Belmont, because I was looking for some bagels. You know, the North Carolina Vinyl Picker, he's always looking for some bagels, and because he's from Jersey. I'm originally from Jersey. Well, I'm originally from New York, but kind of grew up in Jersey. But anyway, I was looking for some bagels, some good bagels, boiled bagels, you know, the ones in the pot, not Lenders, not the ones you get in the store, not all that crap. So there's supposed to be a Decora's across the street from the antique mall. Door was shut. So I don't know what the deal is with that. But going to be going to Brugger's coming up here pretty soon. So I'm going to be getting some damn bagels. Or I'll go over to Denver and get some bagels. Because there's a New York bagel store over there in Denver. And that ain't too far. So what did I get? What did I get? Well, we went into the antique mall and I started on the right. We worked our way to the left. But if I had known, on the first aisle on the left, there's two big record stores there at the Catawba River Antique Mall. So if you're in that area, you're in that Belmont area, the Charlotte area, take a trip over to the Antique Mall there, because it's really nice. They've done a lot of work there. What did I get? So I closed out my Grand Funk collection. I got their last album. It's called What's Funk. So I picked this one up and I played it, and it sounds fantastic. That's right, what I always say, it sounds fantastic. So now the only thing I need is Don, Mark, and who? I don't know. It's it's Don Brewer, Mark Forner, and Terry, the original Grand Funk, Terry Pack, when he was with Terry Pack and the Mac. So this is a great album. This is their last album that Mark Forner played on with them. And then they made another album later on, but they changed the name. And the name, what's the name of the band? I don't remember. I had it written down here somewhere. They had another, Flint, that's what it was called Flint. And it was without Mark Forner. I guess they couldn't use the name Grand Funk Railroad, so they had to use the word Flint for Flint, Michigan, where they were from up there. So Grand Funk, get your funk on. This is the great album. Don't give up on Grand Funk. They had some great later albums. And I found this one there for $5. Oh, the Funk album was a little pricey. It was like $12. But this album is a little pricey. It's at the end of their career. Ronnie Wood from the Rolling Stones and Faces. This was a $5 pickup. And I'm going to give this a listen. I'm looking forward to giving this a listen. I like Ronnie Wood. I like the Faces a lot. And hit and miss on the Stones. The Firm, that's right, with Paul Rodgers. They're getting ready to go in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They deserve it. They should have been in a long time ago. And The Firm with Jimmy Page and Paul Rodgers and a couple other guys. And I saw this tour back in, I think, 85. Was this 85? Yes, 85. It was in 85, and I was, where was I? I was stationed up in, where was I stationed in 85? In 85, I was in Mayport, Florida. That's right, I was in Mayport. And I seen The Firm. They were fantastic. That's right. They were fantastic. And I seen Graham Nash. That's right. No, I never saw Graham Nash. But I did see Graham Nash when I went to the Antique Mall. And this album was all of $3. And I looked at it and said, oh, wow, what's wrong with this album? So I looked at it and I looked at it a little closer and I pulled it out and I checked it out. And it's from Mexico. That's right. It's a Mexican. It made it over the border. Made it through the border, I should say. Fantastic. $5. Is that what I said? It was $5. And well worth it. It's like minty fresh. So I love this album. This is Graham Nash's first solo album. And nice to have it. I have it on 3 pressings now. I have a U.S. press. I have this one. And I have one from, I think, from Indonesia somewhere. Free. This is the album I've been trying to find for a long time. And I already have 3 of their albums with Paul Rodgers. And this album here has got all the song All Right Now, which led me to a show I saw on YouTube, which was Paul Rodgers a few years ago, getting back with his old band. But I think he was the only member. I don't know if there's any other old members that were on stage with him. They didn't look too old. And Paul Rodgers is like 70, so. But this is a fantastic album. This is an excellent copy. I paid up a little bit for it, but I was glad to find it because it's pretty rare to find a good copy of this on an OG. Dr. Z. Good old Dr. Z, buddy. 3 Parts to My Soul. Yes, this album is fantastic. And for anybody out there that doesn't know Dr. Z, I'm gonna open this up for you. I'm gonna open this up for you. Like this, and then it opens up, see? But this is not the original Vertigo. The original Vertigo of this album goes for like $3,000. That's right, it goes for like $3,000. So hard to find. You can get them on eBay or Discogs, but you're going to pay up for it. So they do reissues of this for like $25. This is a fantastic band that I just found. They're like a jazz fusion prog band called Fragments of Light. The album, actually, the band's called Sensations Fix, but this album's called Fractions of Light, and they have a couple other albums that I'm going to be looking for. So this is a new band for 2025, along with Secret Oyster and Crasada. There's like 5 new bands that I'm gonna be talking about next week. So looking forward to that. Now Steve Hackett, of course, from Genesis. I saw this online on eBay for $5, and I already had a copy of this from my buddy John in North Carolina. Had sent me a copy of this 12-inch single of Cell 151, but it didn't have the extra tracks. It had clocks on here, had a couple extra songs. That was a bonus 12-inch that came with this, but apparently he didn't have that when he bought his. So this is the expanded version of this, and it was for $5 for the whole package, and it has the extra album in here. So I couldn't pass it up. And I think he had like only $4 on shipping or something like that. And then last but not least is Miss Tori Amos, who I absolutely love all her music. And this album's called Scarlet's Walk. First time on vinyl. And now I'm only missing a couple more of her albums on vinyl. And you can see some of her records back here. I'll be putting this one back there with those soon. So yeah, this is a new addition to my I bought some more molding. Now those pieces of molding, you can get those at Home Depot, and they're for about I think it's 10 feet of molding. It comes out to like $25. So it's a little pricey, but they have an area there where you can cut them. They have a saw, and you can cut them into 4-foot sections, and that's what I did. And I cut them into 4-foot sections, and I used those to put up my records. It works out just fine. It works out perfect, and they fit up there good, and they sit in there nice. And so if you're looking to mount records on the wall and you don't want to spend a whole lot of money, you can get 3 pieces out of you can get 3 pieces. And they're really nice, and they come out good. You can stain them if you want to. They come back to, they're just natural wood on one side, and they're white on the other side. So you can paint them, or you can do whatever you want with them. So there you go. I'm going to put these to the side. I'll put my Acid Archives book. This is what I want to talk about today. And this thing has a crap load, or a bucket load, or a shit load, or a truckload of psych records in here. So if you're into psych, you can get this book for about $50 on Amazon, and it talks about all the records that you never heard of before. It's like my buddy John told me one time. He said, there's all kinds of music out there. That's what he told me. I told him I was into this and that and listening to some of this band and that band, and I found this new band. He said there's all kinds of music out there, which is true. He's absolutely correct. And I'll be seeing him up in September. I'm looking forward to going up to Jersey in September. So here, these albums here. Now these are all from that book right there. They're in the book. So if you're looking for some of these records and looking for about another 150 or 200 extra ones that I don't have, they're in the book. But you can, it's hard to find them. There are a lot of times you can only find them on a repress. So the West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Both of these records are in the book. These albums are fantastic. It's just psych rock. It's psych rock. Easter Everywhere. 13th floor elevators, and Easter everywhere. Another fantastic band, 13th floor elevators. How about Morgan? Morgan's in the book. How about Mirthrander, For You, the Old Woman? Mirthrander's in the book. How about MacArthur? MacArthur's in the book. How about the id, the inner sounds of the id? How about Genesis, in the beginning? Not that Genesis, different Genesis. How about Gandalf? How about The Free Spirits with Larry Coryell? He's in the book. How about Electromagnetics? This is Eric Johnson's first band. This album I found for like $5, but this album goes for money. I didn't realize that when I bought it, of course. But they made 2 albums before he went solo. And he's just an exceptional guitar player from Austin, Texas, Eric Johnson. But this is his first band, Electromagnetics. And that's it. That's all I got. I'm going to be right back, and I'm going to show you. We're going to go into, 2005. That's right, 20 years ago. I'm going to show you some CDs and a couple albums that I was listening to in 2005. This is 2025, 2005. I'll be right back. Give me a minute. I'm going to collect them. For you, it's just going to be a second. But for me, it's going to be about 20 minutes, 15 minutes. I got to put them all together, and I'll be right back. Hang loose. Welcome back to part 2. The North Carolina Vinyl Picker is back moments later. This is my countdown, 2005. This is what the North Carolina Vinyl Picker was listening to back in 2005, before he was known as the North Carolina Vinyl Picker. I was just Big Chief. That's right, just Big Chief. Here in 2005 at number 10, I was listening to Anya. The album is called Armantine. Now, I don't have that any longer. It's a CD. You can pick them up in Goodwill for about $1. It's a fantastic record. If you like Clannad and some other bands, Lorena McKinnon, then you should be listening to Anya. And you can find her Gaelic music at Goodwill or Salvation Army for $1.50. So, old goat, if you're out there, make sure you pick up her albums as well as Tori and Clannad, and what was the other one I mentioned? I mentioned Lorena. Don't forget about Lorena McKinnon. Coming in at number 9 is a band called Riverside, and I don't have this CD any longer because I sold it. It's called Second Life Syndrome. So if I want it, I can just go ahead and stream it right back here, and because their albums are, they're way up there in price. So the album's called Second Life Syndrome. It's their second album. It's a band similar to Porcupine Tree, Steven Wilson's band, Riverside. Coming in at number 8 is Dream Theater. Now, Dream Theater is a band that's a hit and miss for me. But this album here is probably my favorite of theirs. I no longer have the CD. The name of the album is called Octavarium. It's a very good record. So if you're into progressive metal, Octavarium leans more towards the progressive rock and not so heavy. John Anderson coming in number 7. Yep, John Anderson and the Tour of the Universe. And this is a DVD set. And on the back here, it tells you all the songs he does on here. Some of them are Yes songs. Some of them are just John Anderson's solo career. But this is a fantastic compilation if you can find it, and it's a great show. It's a great show. I don't know what else to tell you. He's still out there doing it. I tried to get my nephew to go. He didn't want to go. 80 years young, he's out there still doing it. This might be the last time you ever get to see him. So get out there, people, and see him. Traffic coming in at number 6. That's right, the last Traffic Jam. And this is the last show they did with Jim Capaldi before he passed away. And this is just a fantastic show. It has Pearly Queen, Medicated Goo, Mr. Fantasy, Low Spark of High Heeled Boys. It's got the DVD set as well as the CD in here. But this is great. If you love Traffic and Steve Winwood, then you should pick this one here up. Coming in at number 5 is Pat Metheny Group. When he got back together, that's not good English. When he got back together in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s with this album's called This Way Up. And he did about 4 records back then in the early 2000s, late 90s with a different band than his original Pat Metheny Group. But the albums are still great. They're fantastic. Still have Lyle Mays on here with them. Coming in at number 4 is Kate Bush. And this is her double album. And this album is called Ariel. And this is a fantastic record set. I remember buying this CD set when I was up visiting my sister up in North Carolina. I stopped at a record store, either going up or coming back, and picked up this CD. It had just come out in 2005. 20 years ago. 20 years have gone like that. Coming in at number 3, we have Eric Johnson. Eric Johnson, we were just talking about Eric Johnson and the Electromagnetics. This is his live album from Austin. This was also on TV. It was on PBS. It was on PBS, and they were playing it all the time. And just a fantastic album. And a fantastic live show that you can watch, probably on YouTube. Eric Johnson, if you want a really bluesy, excellent guitar player, then you want to listen to Eric Johnson. And this is a great album. Coming in at number 2 is Porcupine Tree. That's right, with Deadwing. Steven Wilson was going to make this into a movie. He never did. This is a fantastic record. I remember buying this down in Orlando when I lived down there in Florida. And I bought the CD and I popped it in my CD player in my vehicle at the time. And I couldn't believe it was Porcupine Tree. The album was pretty heavy. And I was kind of shocked. And it has Robert Fripp on it. It also has Alex Lifeson from Rush is on this record. And it's just a great album. It's the album that came out after In Absentia. And 2005, Porcupine Tree was rolling. And it wouldn't be long before I would see him live. Coming in at number 1, what I always say, there can only be number 1. There can only be one number 1, and it's Tori Amos. And it's The Beekeeper. And I'm patiently waiting for this to come out on vinyl. So hopefully it won't be too much longer. And you can stream this, or you can listen to it on on this CD right here. But I don't believe it's out on vinyl yet. So looking forward to that. She's been releasing her albums from the CD era. So I'm still missing about 4 of her records. But I have them on CD, but since I'm selling my CDs, and what I always say, CDs and streaming, ain't much difference. So that's it. That's my top 10 albums of 2005. What the North Carolina, what I was listening to back in 2005. What were you listening to in 2005, if you can remember? Make a little comment and write them down below. I love all the comments. I answer all my comments. And again, thanks for all my new subscribers. And support them troops out there. We're going to need them soon. Y'all take care. And I will see you on Wednesday with, I don't know, coming up with a show for Wednesday. It's always a big hit. So I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you. Take care.